Well, across the country, people are turning up for and tuning in to women's sports like never before.
This March, women's college basketball averaged 35,000 more viewers on Fox than men's basketball.
Thank you, Caitlin Clark. But that momentum is making its way to Madison. In this month's issue of Madison Magazine, digital editor Anna Kottakis, did I get that right?
Kottakis.
Profiles some female athletes and sports leaders who are true game changers in our community. Welcome to Live at 4, Anna.
Thank you guys for having me.
This is a terrific article. Women's sports in basketball, in hockey are having such a resurgence, and people may remember the volleyball game in Nebraska when they took over Lincoln Memorial Stadium. It was the highest attendance for a women's sport ever, right?
Ever.
94,000 attendees. What do you think is responsible for this renaissance in women's sports?
I think people are just starting to pay attention to the talent that's in women's sports, just the same way that men's sports are fun to watch because you're seeing athletes at the top of their game. People are starting to see that it's the exact same thing on the women's side. And, you know, you're mentioning Nebraska with that outdoor record, but the Badgers have the indoor record for the NCAA attendance.
Yes.
Every single game is sold out for them.
Now, did I mention that was volleyball, right?
Yes,
it
volleyball.
was volleyball, right. And speaking of volleyball, one of the women you profile in this article is Lauren Carlini, soon to be an Olympian.
Right.
And tell us a little bit about the professional volleyball league she's starting in Madison.
Yeah. So there hasn't been a professional pro volleyball league for women in the U.S. For years and years, since the 90s. There's one other right now, but this one is a little bit different. It's LOVB, pronounced love. And this league is going to be kind of built from the bottom up. So each club is going to be tied to a community, tied to those young players, those youth teams, and that's going to act as kind of a feeder program to make that league sustainable. So it's based on the European teams. A lot of these players are coming from seasons in Europe where they were playing professionally. Lauren Carlini is one of them. And we got a lot of Badgers, former Badgers, coming back to Madison to be on Madison's team.
That's really exciting.
We both loved your article. It was really, really good. And some of the other people you highlight, you have Savannah Rainey, Madison Nightmares Marketing and Operations Manager, Samantha Rubin, GM of the Madison Mallards. I mean, is there just a great industry for women's sports here in Madison and in the area for people to kind of attach themselves to?
Yeah, 100%. I think when we started thinking about this article, we were focused on the athletes, and then we kind of zoomed out and realized that the Nightmares and the Mallards, these hugely successful summer collegiate programs, have a front office that is just full of women. And even the leadership team for the Northwoods League has a lot of women on it. And that seems special to have something like that here in Madison, especially when you look at Major League Baseball, even minor league baseball. You don't see a lot of female GMs, but we got Sam Rubin. She's 27, I think now, 26, just turned 27, and she's the GM of both of these teams. So
wow, the Nightmares. Softball is really the next big thing in Madison. It is having a moment, and Savannah Rainey is responsible for a lot of that, don't you think?
I don't think she would take credit for it.
Probably not. She's
I
very
think she
humble.
pushed to the players, but definitely she does a lot of their marketing campaigns. I think in the article she talks a lot about her job being to get people on board, to convince the unbelievers, the non-believers, and get them kind of to be softball fans as well as baseball fans. And I think she's doing a good job.
Yeah, and the Nightmares are very exciting.
Yeah. Well, and I'm thinking about a quote from Billie Jean King. She said, you know, when we talk about female athletes, we say, well, they're role models for young women. But when we talk about male athletes, they're just role models. How can we start to change how we talk about women's sports and say, like, they're role models for everyone?
Period. Full stop.
I think part of that is just, you know, continuing to tell stories about women in Madison's community and beyond who are kind of taking on multiple roles. I mean, take Lauren Carlini, for example. She's not just an athlete on Love's team. She's also their founding athlete, so she's a representative for other athletes. She's going to be a part of the community. She's going to be training camps with younger players, with the Badgers. So she's not just taking on a role as an incredible athlete, which she is. She's also taking on a role as kind of like an anchor in the community for volleyball. And that's true of a lot of these women that were profiled.
It is an exciting era for women's sports.
Yes.
You can read Anna's article. It's terrific in this month's issue of Madison Magazine that is on newsstands now. It's called Game Changer, so look for it. And Anna, we'll see you again very soon.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks for coming.